All right. Hello, hello, hello. Please excuse me as I wrap a blanket around my legs. There's no heat in this house. Okay, audio seems to be going good. Let me take off my headphones and switch to something nice. Hello, Red. I see you there. I interrupted Red's video game playing earlier just to say hi to him. But it's good to see you here as well, dude. My apartment, which is notorious for having horrible windows, and we've had 2 crazy windy days over here in New York City, so my house is cold. The heat is something's wrong with the heat. And to add insult to injury, there we go. I cracked the door open, and the hallway of my building, the building I live in, the apartment building, the hallway has heat, but my apartment does not. And I to this day, I don't know what's causing it. I fiddle with the thermostat, nothing happens. It's like the building has heat, but the apartment does not. Plus, the apartment gets horrible wind. And, yeah, it kind of sucks. But, anyway, hello, guys. Welcome back to my stream. I am Dante, and welcome to my channel, The Burgle Sart. Today, there is no camera, because I look silly sitting here in a beanie with, all bundled up in a funny way. I have been... sorry to hear it, dude. Sorry to hear it. But we're gonna get back into some sprite work. Essentially, my list of projects that need attention go thusly: my card games of Tolls and Trolls and Ascending Assassins, which are now done. The games are done, and they're for sale right now at the Game Crafter. So I just plug it wherever I can. Yeah, when you gotta wear thermals and socks in your own house, it's just like, oh, come on, man. I have this wonderful kind of like giant size hoodie. It's like if a hoodie met a robe. I'm like a giant wizard in it. I love it, but I when I wear it, I just curl into a ball and fall asleep, so I can't really wear it while I'm... Oh, hey, intern, how's it going? I can't really wear it when I'm streaming right now. Where was I at? Oh, yeah, so my card games at thegamecrafter.com, they are up and running. I just need to promote them, so I've been doing videos for that. Next on the list are 2 things. One is what we're doing today. We're going to be doing more sprite work. I'm learning slowly more and more how G develops programming works. Every time I find a tutorial, the bad thing is like they have tons of really good tutorials, but like there's no like real set order of tutorials. They'll have like intro to 2D games or intro to like shooters, but there's so much to learn that like I'll be watching the intro and they'll be like, we're gonna skip this part. If you want to see this part, check out this other tutorial. So I have to like jump back and forth because you don't know what you don't know. But as it stands right now, the goal is to do 1 stage. That means background, interaction stuff, health points, and maybe a boss battle. If I get a stage and a boss battle, I can then repeat this process and change things and learn things. Oh, as a reminder, I'm here on Twitch, and I'm right now dual streaming over to YouTube as well. Give us a follow. Give us a subscribe on YouTube if you can. And then finally, the last project is, as I've shown it before, it's a very large kind of astronaut figurine. Like a toy that is a large action figure, like a big old chunky astronaut that in itself allows kids to make aliens out of it. So the astronaut opens up, and it's kind of like a Play-Doh factory. So those are the 2 projects that I'm now moving to. It is this video game project and the astronaut. The astronaut is really just a matter of sculpting and finishing, and like kind of like really honing in the design for the first prototype. As for the video game, it's just us sitting here chugging along, chug, chug, chug. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to chug, chug, chug. So this is where we left off last time. There's the one-armed bandit. There's our protagonist for scale. And we're just slowly making this one continuous stage. I want to make it longer because you could basically run across this in 5 seconds. But I'll make a long stage. I've learned a few things I will correct on the second stage. Like, I've learned a few things I should do differently. I'm only using repeating sprites for the backgrounds, like as in like the far backgrounds. The sun, the clouds, those are repeating sprites. The stages are continuous drawings. But I've learned a few things. So when it comes to various platforms, like the ledges you see here, the broken house ledge, this ledge here, and this upcoming ledge, like those in the future I will do as repeating sprites. Because putting them into the background causes an issue when I'm trying to do the programming. I won't get really into it. It's just it's a bit of a headache. But you know, I've just been having trouble getting it, you know, finishing this piece. It's not a lot. It's just kind of tedious. So I'm going to go to something a bit more interesting. You cannot tell what this is, but we are going to do a new sprite. It's going to be, oh, okay, hold on. It's going to be a sprite kind of inspired by the Donkey Kong villains. Let me get, I'm just going to get a black, hold on. I'm just going to get a black pencil for a minute to show you what I'm thinking. So you can't really see it, but there's a hat. There's its head with its pointed face. It has legs. It has a big stinger. It's basically one of those desert wasps, but I'm going to give it a little cowboy hat and stuff. And it's inspired by the bees in Donkey Kong. Because, you know, you need a flying enemy. So we're going to do a little bee sprite today. We're going to be doing a bee sprite. As usual, I do the base sprite in Clip Studio because I'm more familiar with that. And then I do the animation in Ace Sprite. That's ASEPRITE. Ace Sprite. That's what the animation is, but for the base, I just straight up use this. Per usual, using just for the heroes. For all the main sprites, we're using just like this grayscale. And then the backgrounds are a mixture of kind of like three shades of brownish orange and three shades of brownish orange and then 3 shades of like a mustard for the skyline. The idea was it's meant to look like an old wanted poster with the brown parchment paper and black and gray text. At least for the first stage. I don't know if I'm going to continue that throughout the entire game. It might get kind of like annoying, but we'll see. We'll see. So, let's do some bug drawings. Let's do some bugs. Let's start. Well, let's start with a smaller brush to begin with. There we go. Okay, so I have my color layer. There we go. Let's lighten that. I'm using blue in the background. That way I could tell where everything's at. And yeah, let's do some bugs. Now, last time we did a bug, it was like a black scorpion. So this one's going to have a different color palette to it. In fact, let me move this over here. There we go. Let's go with the light gray. And just lay out some shapes. Ooh, I'm definitely gonna have to like, hold on. There we go. That's better. So I've kind of learned from watching some other like people who do sprite work. Oh, I just noticed. I have my pen set to like pixel, but it still is a pen tool, so it has a certain like you could still like do a thin line to a thicker line like that, so that works. Anyway, so I'm taking, you know, the more I do this, the more I learn. This whole thing's a learning process. And oh, there it is. Yep, they've officially, that's it. They've officially screwed up this playlist. All right, folks, you know what that means. To our unfinished. Oh, by the way, I'm still taking suggestions for my art stream bingo card. Let me see. Line number 3. There we go. Ad starts playing over music. Yep, they've officially screwed up this playlist. This playlist didn't used to have ads like that, but lo and behold, they screwed it up. All right. So for now, we're gonna be a little silent for a minute, or as silent as I am. I'll still be talking. Maybe I should. Oop, that's way too big. Make it a bit small. Let's go for 2. Yeah, that's good. There we go. That way it's curved. What was I saying? Oh yeah, like I think what I need to do is I should go to YouTube's music library. YouTube, you go into like your own music library on YouTube, and there's just tons of sounds and sound effects and music you could use for your videos. And I think I just need to like make a playlist. I just need to make a playlist based off of that. What is happening here? Oh, that's not good. There we go. Pixel, please. I need to pixel erase it. No gradation on this. No gradation. Thank you very much. Where was I saying? Oh yeah. So I'm just learning as I go when it comes to sprite work. Like this whole thing's a learning process. Maybe for video games, you figure out somewhere along the line. Let's see. If I'm doing that, let's go for here. So this is a desert wasp, which are actually like usually like a black in color. You notice that you have the first set of white, light gray, gray, then a slightly darker gray from that. Like it's not much of a difference if you look at it. So sometimes, I have to decide like what palette of gray I'm using, if that makes sense. Okay, as per usual, with all my sprites, the light is coming. I actually forgot. I think I've designed every sprite with the light coming from the left upper side. Let me just double check. Even though some sprites will be flipped, that's kind of the pattern I've been going with. Let me just. It's been a while. Give me stand by, people, stand by. Where is my video game? There we go. Video game sprites. Looking through my folders. Looking through. Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's that. Then there we go. Technically, I'm doing that backwards. It should be darker. I'm a fool. I'm doing that backwards. It should be dark here, because that's under. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Boom. And then it gets lighter. then after we do all this, I decide to put some black lines in afterwards. There we go. That's better. And even then, I might decide to take this whole thing and take it and just like fully, like take the whole thing a shade darker altogether. Since it's, you know, these are, like I said, desert wasps, which are usually, like black in color. So. And the file for this, oh, come on, the file for this is simply called, the file for this guy is simply called Buzz. So I gotta think of good names for each of these guys if I go through it. I'm thinking, should I make it a fishing hook? Just because. Something like that. We'll see. I could also just give it, oh, still erasing by accident. Just give it a little bit. Like that, like a little shiny, yeah. Let's go dark again. Not pure black, but dark for his limbs. You know what? No, let's stay focused. We are going to continue first with the colors we have. Like, don't go to the dark colors yet. Just get these shades down first. There we go. Give him a little shine. I'm liking that so far. This is going to be a simple animation. It's going to be like his wings will be buzzing. I mean, the most simple animation is just having the wings buzz, and then I'll animate him moving up and down like this on the screen. Up and down. Which, by the way, I found a really easy way to do. Speaking of different types of tutorials, so there was a tutorial. I'm going to just draw a little thing right here. So there was one tutorial I saw that was like, let's say this... Oh, I'm still using the erase tool. Come on. Let's say this is your sprite, right? And it was like, oh, if you, not sprite, this is your villain sprite. And you want him to pace back and forth, right? They were like, oh, you could do this thing where you basically, for now, let's say it's a sign, right? You make 2 signs. You make these signs invisible to the player. And there was like this program that allowed the character to walk, hit the sign, reverse, and walk back. Hit the sign, reverse, and walk back. Which is good when you're doing an animation for a character that does turn back and forth. The sign basically says, when this character hits here, switch it around, switch the sprite around, and then make him walk that way. Because you're doing a program to walk, a program to change a sprite, and a program to reverse, right? But let's say your sprite is not a character, just like a ball with spikes on it, right? Just a ball with like spikes coming out of it, like that, right? You don't need all of this stuff here. There's another program I found through a different tutorial. Once again, you don't know what you don't know. There's another program in GDevelop I found on another tutorial that's called Path, which is like you take a sprite and then you put that behavior to your sprite, and it just takes it on a path, which is great for like think like Mega Man villains, or think about Mario villains that would move around a box. So you could there's a path animation in GDevelop that's just rectangle animation, but if you set the vertical, the up and down, to 0, the rectangle animation ends up becoming a back and forth animation, and you just tell it back and forth, I don't know, for 5 seconds this way and for 5 seconds that way, and you don't need to put anchor points down to trigger the this rotational animation to flip the sprite. So there's so many different ways to like I'm kind of like I'm beaming about this, not because I work for GDevelop, but because I'm like, oh, it's so easy to use once you sit down and kind of just figure out a few tutorial pieces here and there. So yeah, I'm enjoying the program. I am greatly enjoying this program. All right, so he is gonna have a hat. So it's gonna be something. I'm using the erasing tool again. It's gonna be something like that, and then there you go, like a cowboy hat like that. I'm gonna put a light color belt on it right here. Well, actually, let me see. I'm using, yeah, so trying to figure out exactly how much, because you're working with limited space on certain things. So if I use this color instead, dip, there we go, and I go dip. Something like that. Oh wait, then he has antennae that stick out of it. There we go. It's like that small. Okay, yeah. So the issue is this color for the spike, for his like this color right here. It's not black, but it's close enough to it. So when I do an actual black line, I'm not sure how like if it helps. But we'll see. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to do. You know what? I don't want to mess up what I've done so far. It's on a separate layer. I'm going to go ahead and do his feet on a separate layer. So I'm thinking something like this, right? And let me see. Something along that way. And I was thinking, I want to give him a boot. Like he has big boots on. At least on one of the legs. Let's use white to really separate, like... Yeah, there we go. That looks good. And I'm thinking, I do want to give him boots. I do want to... Let me see if I can give him boots. Take that. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if this works. Actually, let me take away the bug for a minute. And if I just gave him, like... This big old honking cowboy boots. Yeah, the real question is it going to be too busy? Like, is it just too much in the scene? Even with a black outline from a basic black, dude. It might work. It might. Once you drop some black outline around it, it might work. Alright. So you know what? Okay. So on a separate layer, we go straight to just solid black. Right? And on the back side of the legs, we put black as well. We're not... It's one of those things where it's like... We don't have to do all of it in a black outline. Just like a little bit to hint to like certain shapes. Like that. See here, it does help it stand out a bit, which is good. You know what? I just realized something. Sorry, folks. I need to actually check something real quick. Let me zoom in. Can I zoom in just a little bit? There we go. I need to check something real quick, guys. Sorry about that. Gotta jump off for a minute. Okay, and we're back. And I think I found a way to play YouTube's library one after the other. That way, that way I don't have to like make an entire playlist, which is nice. Let's see. What the hell's going on? Why is everything showing all of a sudden? Turn that off. Turn the slideshow off. Turn off the droid cam. There we go. It's like all my camera feeds turned on at once. Anyway, back to the bug. And we got some nice music playing. Actually, what I'm going to do... Why is this considered the mood being sad? It says mood sad. There we go. There we go. Don't know why that particular song was labeled as having a sad mood to it. Anyway, back to it. Okay, we are fiddling on the black ink layer at the moment. But before I do that, let me fill in some gaps. There we go. That's better. Give me a little shadow under the hat. No, I should do the whole. I should go around the entire antenna. I noticed the next song isn't playing, but if I open it up... Okay, I have to leave it open. That kind of sucks. That's what it is. The song only plays when I keep it open. Oh, wait a minute. Did I get a chat while I was gone? Cheap views, Steamboo. You know what that means. There we go. Bot selling views. That's line number 4. Is that this one? Yep. Bot selling views. All right, we got a second one. All right. It's looking pretty good so far. I'm going to go ahead and combine our leg and body layer. I'm pretty happy with that. Merge legs and body. There we go. And then on the body layer, we need to also add some little notation that says, do not touch me, do not tread on me, I am dangerous. Once again inspired by the prickly wasp you see in Donkey Kong. So the sprite is slightly bigger than our normal sprites. Usually our sprites sit within a 100 by 100 box to kind of match the size of our hero. That way I know I can animate it where the hero can jump over them. He is bigger. This guy's bigger. Canvas size. There we go. Let's make that 125. Oh, I don't even need that much. 115. 10. Okay. And once again, just to help us decipher our, really see what's going on in the background, drop some blue in there. Okay. So you notice, for most of the body, I gave him an outline, but for the areas that are kind of dark gray, I don't go completely around it. I'm thinking about whether or not I should. I'm thinking if I should or if it just get lost. The black in the gray. I think I add a bit more black just to kind of make it stand out like that. Yeah, so it's only automatically playing if I have the website open. So every so often, when the music stops, I just reopen my Chrome. There we go. Okay, okay. This works. Okay, so let me lock this off for a minute. And let me, you know what? Let me adjust him. Let me adjust the background real quick. What I want to do... I don't want to give him giant wings. But... I still gotta give him wings, of course. And here's the funny part. This is going to be one of those things where it's like... I'm just going to... design the hint of movement. Helicopter wings, if that makes sense. Just gotta figure out the best way to do it. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I like the way the wing shape looks. I just gotta figure out a good way to animate them. In fact, with all of this being said, save. We got, you know what? I'm gonna mark that down. Where are we? Where are we? We got this far in the project. And I'm gonna mark it as forgot to save. Because we got that far in the project and almost didn't save. So yeah, I'm gonna mark that down as a bad take on what I just did. Here's our bug so far, right? Let's take that background away. There's our bug so far. I don't like him. He's coming out okay. Just need to find. Oh snap, I didn't even notice that before that bot popped in. Katorius Rex popped in. Hey Joe, sorry about that, I didn't notice you were there. I'm gonna type into Google bug wing animation, right? And I'm gonna go into images. Now a lot of it is just still images of bug wings. I'm trying to, it's like when someone draws a helicopter, it's really they just draw a frisbee for the propellers, just a circle. So I'm trying to figure out what's a good way to do some bug animation. Let me look at some GIFs. Let me see. Bug wing animation GIF. I mean, I could just, you know what? I could just take these wings, and then just move them in the animation and just have them freaking back and forth. You know what? Yeah, let us save this. Save. But what we're going to do is take away the background. Take away the background. We're going to get rid of that right there. We're going to delete that. What layer am I on? Let's delete that real quick. Let's delete that. There we go. So this is going to be turned into a GIF. Not a GIF. PNG. Save as. PNG. Then we can open it in an animation program. So let's switch programs for a minute, guys. So we're going to switch programs. Stand by. File. Open. And where are you? There we go. Now, can you guys see that? I have to adjust. I have to adjust some stuff. Okay, hold on. There it is. Stand by as I look for... No, not Clip Studio. Not Clip Studio. Ta-da! There we are. Oh, I gotta... I definitely need to adjust this window. Hold on. It's a long window. Now, you know what? You don't need to see all the stuff. But I can do, for slide adjustment, make sure it's centered nicely, more or less. Let's move this preview window over here. And yeah, there you go. So this is what we're working with right now. Music. Back on, please. There we go. Okay. Now, if I could just remember how this works. There we go. That's more like it. All right. So, first things first. Let's frame properties. We're gonna animate this at 250. Frame number 1. Well, all the frames should be like this. Okay. So we're gonna duplicate, right? We're gonna duplicate it. Selection tool, lasso. Nope, undo that. Okay. So I'm just going to start with some basic rotation for the animation. Right? That's a basic, like, back and forth, back and forth. Oh, you know what I should do instead? I'm an idiot. Let's backtrack, 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 backtrack. Alright. I have an idea. Let's go put this guy right here for a minute. And then we are going to try something else. Let's take him Oh, I grabbed something by accident. Nope, let's try again. I grabbed the pixel I didn't want to grab. That's better. Put him over here. Rotate him. And then let's grab this guy again. Whoop. Let's see, how does that look in animation? Play. Hold on. Nope. See, we only moved him, we didn't rotate. Ah, dang it, it keeps happening. Let's try again. We moved him, but didn't rotate him. Come on. How's that look? Okay, okay. But let's have some fun with this. I'm going to actually rearrange this guy again. I'm going to tilt him a little bit. I'm going to try something. Just to give it a bit more of a frenzy kind of feel. Copy. Paste. Somewhere. There we go. How's that look? Nah. But I think we're on the right track, though. What if I just, like, grab part of him? Copy and paste that part. Rotate it. Nope, too much rotation. Come on, rotate. Where are you? There you are. Shoot, no. Dang it, it caught the other one. Okay, let's try this again. That's not what I meant to do. Ugh, very tricky, very tricky. Copy, paste. Come over here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Okay, so I think the issue we're having here is I need to do the same thing on this guy. I need to like make Okay. I need to add more chaos to the first panel. Okay, it's going from regular to chaos. So let's go from let's make some chaos on this guy. And then rinse and repeat with this. Just do some cleanup. Yeah, baby. Actually, should I put some random speckles here? Yeah, you know what's this random? Oh, there was a. Where's the onion on this? There it is. Nope, that's the wrong tool. Where's the pencil on this? Is B for brush. Okay. I for eyedropper. Check. There we go. Now I could also introduce secondary movement, like having his legs bob up and down. But I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to do that. The animation of him is supposed to either gonna be him traveling up and down or just staying in space. The secondary movement might be nice. I'm not sure if I want to do it. Kind of second guessing also. You know what I gotta do? You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. Stop. Let me, I want to widen out that, I actually do want to widen out. We're going to do some changing here. Nope. Eyedropper. There we go. Give it a real, like... That's better. Use the onion skin. Do the same thing. There we go. I think that's better. Yeah, that sprite looks good. I am happy. Once again, we could. How do I zoom out? Is it shift? No, it's not shift. It's not that. It's not that. There we go. Which song is this? I gotta download this song right now before I lose track of it. Yes, download audio track. It's a bop to it, man. Alright, file. Save as. Where's my folder for my sprites? Ah, there we go. One-arm sprites. Can have a folder strictly for the individual images and a folder for the sprites. So I'll make sure I keep them separate. Why? Because I'm a madman. We're going to call this guy Buzz for now. A sprite Buzz 1. Save. Nice. Oh yeah, download this one too. There we go. Alright, so should we try and do a secondary animation? Should we have his arms wiggle? He's gonna be traveling, so I could do that. Because ideally you would have his boots bobbing up and down. With the movement, but as if he is bobbing up and down. I'm thinking I might just have his front claws kind of move back and forth. So I'm thinking new frames, empty frames, delete frames. How do I duplicate these exact frames back to back? One there, one there, one there, one there. Perfect. Oh, but they're linked. Hold on. My issue is whenever I try to duplicate, it tends to override the one next to it. If I duplicate cell... Oh, wait, can I do both? Duplicate cells? Okay. Yes. 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 Alright. So it's only 2 frames for the wing movement, right? But I'm thinking on the... So 1, 2. 1, 2. But I'm thinking on 1 and 4, I'm going to have his arms moving back and forth. That way it's not... There's like space in between them, if that makes sense. So look... Okay, let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Okay. So. Nope. Wrong one. Q, please. Just gonna move that forward. Wrong button. B. Okay. And then we're gonna do the same thing here. Move it forward. Wrong button again. I keep hitting P for pencil. Deselect. Oop. Put you right there. Almost forgot you. Delete that. So, the first 2 frames. Let me back up. Well, the first 2 frames, which are this and this, have the same arm, have the same hands. The next 2 frames, which are also the same thing, but have the... Oh, nope, gotta change something there. Something's off. That's there. Need to put a little dot right there. There we go. It's not crazy. It's not a lot, but it's something. Oops, something is disappearing though. Hold on. Right there. There's a little pixel was disappearing. Okay, let me check this real quick. This and this. These 2 are the same. Then it goes here. Those 2 are the same. That's it. You know what? I'm trying to think what else. It is such a pain to redraw half this stuff. But that is animation for you. Damn. Days like this, I wish maybe I should have imported the leg separately. Just make the animation easier for me. But you know what? We're gonna try something stupid. Let's go for it. Careful. Okay. Why did that get left out? There we go. Why is the whole top included? No, I don't want the top to be included. Why'd you do that? Why did it do that? It like included more than it should have. Okay, let's try this again. Because it like selected pixels all around it as opposed to pixels just inside the box. Like that's what I'm trying to do. Actually, is there a way to... Magic wand tool, left button... Okay, which one am I using? I'm using this one. Lasso tool. Okay, I need to zoom in on this. Sorry. Okay. Nope. Nope, that's the wrong one. All right. Bear with me. I'm just trying to grab... There we go. Close enough. Close enough. All right. Okay, so if that's that, I'm gonna bring it down. Right? Okay, okay. Let's deselect. Eyedropper. Nope. Eyedropper, thank you very much. Why are you still... Eyedropper, what's going on? Yeah, just the smallest movement. It's barely anything, to be honest. Now, let me back up again. Zoom in. And what we're going to do, if this works, is grab exactly what this looks like right here. Copy it. Go to the next panel. Paste it. Let me deselect. Let me see. Yeah. And in the animation, that is really weak. It is weak sauce, my friend. So we're gonna get up in here and do it. We're gonna fudge it a little bit. I should have moved it down more. I only moved it a little bit. Should have moved it down more. What's wrong with me? Eyedropper. Thank you. Boom. There we go. That looks a bit better. And yeah, you know what? If we come this far, let's get that boot. Let's get that booty. Just gonna move the toe around, really. Let me undo that. Let me back that up. Give us some room. Back in here. Copy. Paste somewhere else. Okay. This way I just cleaned it up over here. Dip, dip, dip. Get the erase tool. Get rid of that. What sucks is that I'm using gray tones that are similar to the gray tones in the background of this damn thing. You know what I gotta do? I know what I gotta do. How do I move these damn layers around? Stand by. Merge, flatten. Nope, 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 nope. New layer. Hold on. There we go. Where's a bucket tool when you need one? Paint bucket tool. Wait, I gotta deselect everything first. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. That's why it's good to have two different layers. Yeah. When the sprite's done, though, it will just be one layer. And you lock this layer. Don't want to join it by accident. There we go. All right. So I am thinking come over here. We're just completely going to like draw over this. Like that. Like that. I keep using right click as the eyedropper because right click is the eyedropper for freaking Clip Studio. So it's just, you know, it's going from one program to the other, which is just driving me nuts. All right. Wait a minute. Okay. Yes. 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 If I just do that. Why am I not seeing the foot previously? I should be able to see both layers. There's that one. There's that one. Oh, it's because the background's acting. No. Where's the other foot? Why don't I see the foot? I'm using the onion tool. I don't see the foot. That's weird. Alright, you know what? We're here. Let's just do it. Let's figure it out. Gonna rotate it downward. Let's see. Nope. Once you let go, it does that, which is not good. Okay, let's do some color correction in this. Bam. Nope, that's the wrong one. Bam, please. Thank you. Bam. Bam. Wrong tool again. I keep hitting the wrong buttons because I'm in the wrong program. Good. And what we're going to do now that we're here, we're just going to grab all of this. Check. Right. Copy. And paste it. Okay. Yes. And yes. And let us zoom out again. Also deselect. Damn, it is cold in my apartment. I'm like touching like my work table, and I'm like, this work table is cold. And a little foot wiggle. There we go. You can do some adjustments to it. Let's do some adjustments. Yeah, I'm okay with that. These are small. Like, now I'm just nitpicking stuff. Nope, that's the wrong panel. That's the one I want. Copy. Paste. Deselect. Oh, wait. Oh, what's that about? That's not meant to happen, but something... Oh, wait. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, I added an extra layer by accident. But it is giving it a little bit of a... That extra layer actually is helping give it a little bit of a twist in the boot. Oh, but wait a minute. You see that? That little flex? Like it's like his toes are flexing. You know what? I'm keeping it. That's a happy accident. Holy, wait. That is actually a really happy accident. It looks like he's flexing his foot back and forth. Oh, where are we? There it is. Yeah, baby. 1, 2, 3. Happy accident. I think we got it. We file save that. File save that, baby. Yeah. Yeah, then I'll drop him into the program of him basically go back to 100%. So he'll be buzzing up and down like this on the screen. And even though the secondary animation won't necessarily, even though the secondary animation in his legs won't necessarily match like an up and down movement, it still gives a bit more to it. And if I want to go back and forth, let's see. Back and forth actually works a bit more because he's just twitching his legs. So either way it works. Hell yeah, baby. I think we did good on this. Okay, let me stop that. Let me stop it. Stop the animation. There we go. File save. And that is Buzz. Once again, we're just using filler names for all of these. That's Buzz right there. Thanks, man. So the next one I want to work on. I could figure out the animation. I just don't know how to figure out the interaction for him in the game. But the next one I want to work on. Let's get rid of Buzz. File open. So that's Buzz. Armo. Oh. I haven't actually brought him into the program yet. I've done the sprite. Made a file for him. What the hell's going on? Armo, where are you? File. Open. Why can't I find Armo? Open. Oh, he's a Clip Studio file. That's why. Boom. Open. Look at this little guy. Look at him. Look at him. He's so angry. This is Armo. So this is the base sprite, right? And I want to do an animation where he fires, like the momentum sends him backwards into a ball, and then he gets back up. That's like the base. That is the base animation I want to make for him. So I'm thinking Should I just drop him into the animation right now? Or do some base sprites, keyframes, in this first? Ooh, this freaking... Sorry. Is this loud for you guys? It's loud for me. You pull back this music a little bit. Jeez, that's loud. Oh, you guys can't see him because I'm an idiot. Let's switch back. Let's switch back. I'm talking about this guy and you guys can't see him. Once again, we're going to go into... Clip Studio, Clip Studio, Clip Studio, Clip Studio, Paint. There we go. Sorry about that. Yes, I'm going to close a sprite for now. So, here's Armo. That's Armo, because he's armed to the teeth. He's an armadillo who believes in Second Amendment rights. And frankly, if you are armadillo, you'd believe it too. But yeah, that's Armo. And yeah, I want to do one where like he fires, falls back, and rolls into a ball, right? And most of these sprites are like only like 3 to 4. Well, the B ended up being 5 individual sprites. But a lot of these animations, I'm aiming for like low, like 3 or 4 for like that quick animation. But let's see what we could do with this, right? That's Armo. I don't know. I'm just so freaking happy with the way he looks. That's what it is. So let's adjust this page for a minute. I might do all of him in Clip Studio and then drop him into the animation program and do tweaks afterwards. Canvas properties. Nope, wrong one. Canvas size. Okay. So he's in a 100. He's about 100 wide. So let's go with the width. Let's make that 300 long. That way we have room to work with. Blip. Okay. So I'm going to lock these 2 layers. Okay. So basically what I'm doing now is organizing it where this first little picture of him is going to be in a folder. That's folder 1. I'm going to duplicate that folder. Let me actually change a few things. Folder 1, which is locked. Folder 2, which is unlocked. And I'm going to go ahead and move folder 2 straight across. Is our little boy lined up? Right there. Boom. This way I could just work with it side to side to side. Then I'll save each image individually, and then I'll bring them into the actual animation program. I'm trying to think. He will fire, fly backwards, roll into a ball, bounce into a ball, then get back up. Or would he just like fire, literally like fall back in frame, then come back in frame? I'm trying to think about it. You know what? Let's go with first and last frame. Yeah, let's go with first and last frame for this guy. go to the next track. That track was kind of getting on my nerves. Okay. So let's go to the colors. Get rid of that. Let's imagine, if we will, just on his back. Oh, freaking it's snapping to the damn grid. Hold on. Do not snap to ruler. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to roll him up into a ball right now. So I'm going to, you know... Oop, that's the wrong button. There we go. Okay, start with the very first and the very last frames. Now, what I also want to do is just grab this, transform it, and just straight upward. Right? That helps a lot. Then I could go in the ink layer and do the same thing. There we go. Hit yes. And then I could delete all of this. Basically, he's going to be holding the gun straight up. That's a good thing. With pixel art is if you're flipping it or rotating it perfectly, like 180, it doesn't. The pixels look good. You're just like perfectly mathematically rotating it. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's the ink layer. Let's lock that ink layer down again. All right. We do a quick Google search. It's I think it's called a 3-band armadillo, which are apparently the only actual armadillos that can roll into a perfect ball. There we go. 3-band armadillo. And God, they're so cute. So when they're a ball, I need to get a good shot of the side shot. Come on, show me a side shot of that armadillo, that little cutie. There it is. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Alright, we're good. So the one thing I find really interesting in terms of like just the anatomy of like this of the three band armadillo is that its head and its tail have almost the exact same shape. So when it rolls up into a ball, the front area here, like this is its head, and right next to it is its tail. Like it's perfectly interlocks. That's kind of one of the things. It's like that one crab who has who has the claws that perfectly make like a face mask for it. You ever seen that? Oh, so cute. Yeah, I feel like this is a character who like deserves like 5, 6 frames of animation just to give him justice. But we'll figure that part out. There we go. And then you grab the ink layer. And let's see what we got here with this ink layer. First things first, lock the color layer. Label it color layer. There we go. Now on the ink layer, right? We're gonna move this ink layer. I'm realizing I should have left the handle, I think. Because the handle would be seen. Shoot. Well, shoot. Okay. Or I could just put his little claw there. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put his little claw there. Gotta deselect it. But part of the handle should be seen. That is true. Ah! I'll figure that out. Alright, let's figure this out, though. It's not a perfect ball. That's kind of... I'm okay with that. I think I have to... Yeah, I have to mimic... I have to draw the handle again. Okay. We'll do that. Doesn't gotta be perfect, just close to it. Now, funny enough, it looks like smoke. I could do a smoke on it. I could do smoke on it too. Because it looks like smoke anyway. Let me, that's the wrong tool. Let me grab this and move out the way. That's our color palette anyway. We deselect that. We grab that. Give him some shade on his head. He needs a little bit of color on the face. He's freaking little weirdo. It's not a perfect ball. He's a little sloppy, I think. I feel as if I need to... I feel like I need to make him a bit more rounded. I feel like that'll make more sense. There we go. All right, let's save that. I feel. Yeah, we're gonna have to do some puffs of smoke on this boy. Yeah, and that's another thing. Not so. Is the smoke gonna need animation too? Like, is this like a actual harder villain to defeat because of the fact that he like, maybe he tanks weapons. There's some enemies you just can't hurt. So like maybe that's his whole thing. Like he's one of those characters. So he shoots at you, but if you shoot at him, he just goes pink, and he just kind of rolls up into a ball or whatever. So maybe it's like a little frame of him standing with an idle animation. Maybe his ears wiggle or something. A little idle animation. Then a single frame of him firing. Like he fires, falls back, becomes this ball. Smoke comes off of it, and then he gets back up. That's kind of the mindset I'm going with on this. Yeah. Now, how to program that, it'll basically be an idle animation, a firing animation, and then return to idle. That's how you would probably program that. But you know what? Let's call it for there now. I think the next step will be figuring out how I want the idle animation to look, which is maybe just him kind of like rocking slightly with the gun in his hand, like the gun rocks up and down. And then just 1 or 2 frames of animation of him falling back and getting back up. And then when you drop it into the program, then that will be switching between active and non-active. And I just realized my face cam is off. Why is my face cam off? What the heck just happened to my face cam? Hello? Oh, something got reset. Huh. Oh, this whole time my face cam's been off. Did I delete it by accident? Holy crap, I think I did. That's interesting. There's a slideshow. There's my battery power low when I had a... There's my Kinect camera, which I'm not using right now. My Droid cam, which I haven't used in a while. There's our canvas. Close that. And what's going on to no camera? Is that it? No. There we go. Whoa, what the? Like, everything went wonky. Oh, let's not do that. Things are going wonky over here today, people. Hello? Why is it cropped? Wow, everything's gone weird today. Filters. Edit my filters. Hello, hello. Cropping. That is so weird, man. Let's change that to like 250. Gave that Loch Ness Monster 350. Sorry. There we go. That was weird. Don't know what happened there. Man, everything's just going off today. Everything's just off the rails. But yeah. Let me lock that. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Okay, so we have successfully done 1B sprite with animation. He only has one type of animation, which is just him buzzing around. We are starting the next sprite. Rather, continuing this old sprite. But we're taking the armed armadillo, and we have his little pudgy round body. He looks a little sloppy. Given how cute armadillos are, he looks a little sloppy. Given how cute their body types are. Maybe I might trim the edges up a little bit. I might clean it up on the edges and like round it out better. But essentially, we're going to do an idle animation, which is just him kind of huffing and puffing with the gun. Then the firing animation, which is just him, one frame of him, maybe 1 or 2 frames of him rolling back. Maybe just 1 frame. He rolls back, lands into a ball. Then it's like 2 frames of the ball, smoking gun, puffing out. And then he stands back up and returns back to his idle frame. But yeah, you know what? I'll show you guys right now. I've done a few of these in past streams, so I'll show you right now. Let's open up. Let's see what some bad guys we have. Bam. So we have this lovely cactus. We have done an animation for her. She just kind of flexes her arms up and down with little hearts, little prickly hearts popping up around her. That's her. She's one. I've done the scorpion. I called it Sting. And we have animated that one as well. That's like a 2-frame animation of just him kind of jabbing at you. A jab, jab. He's tiny. Really simple black and gray animation. I mean black and gray color scheme. Light gray color scheme for her. Let's see. What else we got? What else we got for bad guys? We have Axe. This kind of Yosemite Sam, big nose looking dude. He just kind of stomps his feet and he actually will be pacing back and forth. So he's an enemy that paces back and forth. So I have enemies that are just like typical, like kind of like Goombas and Koopas where you bump into them and they hurt you. And then you have enemies like the armadillo who will have an actual firing animation. So I know the basics. I know how to have a character shoot and how to have the bullet trace you. But that's usually based on a timer where the bullet fires in repeated motion. This guy needs to use, I believe it's called ray tracing, where you get into his line of sight, which animates the entire shooting process. So there's Axe. And speaking of something that has a shooting process, there's also, this is, for now his name is Cork. Cork has like a big cork gun. He actually, so it kind of shoots, but it hits the ground. Just goes bloop, and like it lands a few feet in front of him. I also have another guy called Hip Shot, who is meant to be like he actually shoots across the screen. So you have different guys who shoots different variations. This is all cowboy western characters. So you have this cowboy guy. Once again, this little bandito man. There's Pancho. You have Sting the cactus. Sting the scorpion. You have Cacti, the cacti base. I gotta think of fun names for these guys. You have your armadillo, which we're going to make sure we hit save on. And our first town, which I'm going to probably continue extending for a bit further. because you can basically just go whoop right across the stage pretty quick. I need to make it a bit longer, a bit more interesting, a bit more different houses. But yeah, and then as I go forward, I'm learning more about how to do the stages. I'm learning more about how to do obstacles. So this whole thing is a learning process, all of it. And I'm also gonna find better ways. I'm finding better ways to do sprites where you just lay out the base color first as a big blob, and then you go back with the fine details. Kind of how like you could see like how I did this first house. Like this very first house is pretty simple, busted chair in the back. But then I went and I did like this water tower, and I did the shading in the water tower a little differently. I did the shading in the windows a little differently. This brick took forever. It shouldn't have taken forever. That should have been easier for that. The way I did the broken windows in this, the way I'm doing the crooked sign, like I'm just laying out the flat colors first and then going back in with the blacks. And once again, it's really just 3 colors for the town. It's like orange, orangey brown, brown, and the backgrounds are the yellows. Will that change? We'll figure it out. The first building I used a reference, but I stuck way too close to it. The other ones I just used reference for basic like angles, and then I kind of went loose, kind of having fun with the different designs. And the whole idea is I making the towns one monocolor and all the characters black and white, for me, helps me visually distinguish the background from the foreground. I don't feel like I'll accidentally draw a character that will disappear into the background. That's the real struggle of that. But that is that. Did I do anything on this? Let me hit save on this. I did something on this. Close that. And our bingo card. So our bingo card, we didn't go crazy with Control Alt Delete with the Control Z, so that's okay. And we didn't lose any files. Thank goodness. If you have any ideas of what else to drop into this, let me know. Let me know what else I should drop into this in terms of ideas. So let me take that away. We're gonna reset this bad boy. Oh nope, that's the wrong one. There we go. Where are you? Get rid of you. Line number 4. Get rid of you. We're gonna reset this all together. Once again, this is just one. It's a base drawing with the text, and then I have individual layers for all the X's. Right, a nice happy accident that the wiggling of the boot actually was a nice happy accident. So we're gonna see what we could do with that. In terms of animation, we're gonna see how we're gonna drop that sprite into the actual animation. Don't save. All right, guys, we are closing up for the shop. We're closing up shop for tonight. Don't know why that music just started playing all of a sudden. But for now, let's pause it. All right. Okay, so we're going to be closing up shop for tonight, guys. Red, thank you for joining me. Same thing to you, of course, Pretorius Rex. And, yeah, you guys have a good night. Stay warm, stay warm. Hey, intern. Dude, I'm happy, man. Like, it's a slow process, but I'm just, like, slowly plucking away at it. And once again, you don't know what you don't know. So I watch one tutorial, and then I figure out, oh, there's another tutorial that covers exactly what I'm trying to figure out. And that's what it is. Like, there's a lot of good tutorials for this program done by the main website, done by the main programming. I also found 1 or 2 Reddits that helped me with, like, really weird detail stuff. Because the base is there. Like, the baseline of, like, putting in your sprite, animating your sprite, having sprites interact, that's there. There's smaller things that you need to adjust with. Like, I had to go on Reddit. I went everywhere up and down on Reddit to figure out a glitch, not a glitch, but something that was happening with the animation, with the jumping programming for the main character, the one-armed bandit. In that, if you held down the jump button, he continuously jumped. I wanted to have a singular press to make him jump once, and I found one guy online who showed me how to do it, and I did it. And I'm not too sure how it worked or why it worked, but it worked nonetheless. And that's all I was really asking for. And yeah, so as always, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later, guys.